Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Terence Crawford versus Jeff Horn with Manny Pacquiao on the bill. Looks like it's going to ESPN pay-per-view. Stay tuned. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I want to give you guys this update in case you haven't heard. It looks like Terence Crawford is going to be facing Jeff Horn, WBO champion from Australia, mate, right? And I have no problem with the fight. I think it's a good fight. First fight for Crawford, moving up to a new division where in his previous division he was undisputed, meaning there can be only one. There was nobody who could say they have something that Terence Crawford needed. Now, they did try to throw, because I was at the fight, I covered it as media, Mikey Garcia versus Adrian Broner. The WBC did throw in some kind of trinket silver belt or Skittles belt. You know what I'm saying? They made some kind of special belt, but I mean, that don't count because Crawford got the real WBC belt from beating Victor Postal. You know what I mean? So, bottom line, he was the man at 140. We'll see what he could do at 147, right? And they're talking about putting Manny Pacquiao on this card. I heard against Mike Alvarado. I've been telling you guys since at least December 2017. That's what my sources were saying, and I know people in Denver, and that's what I've been hearing. Right, and there's been reports since that time. You know, Ego Rumor Mill hits you guys off with that info first. Since that time, that kind of support that. So I don't know. They're trying to finalize all the contracts, Crawford Horn contract, and then also Pacquiao versus whoever. And they're talking about putting this on ESPN pay-per-view. Now, to give you guys a backstory, ESPN has done a pay-per-view in the past. I forgot, it was Antonio Margarito versus somebody, but it was an ESPN pay-per-view. Google it. This is just a freestyle video. I just know my shit off the top of my head. I don't remember who Margarito was fighting at the time, but it was a ESPN pay-per-view. So ESPN has dabbled in that. Now, my thoughts are simple regarding this being a pay-per-view. I personally, I was feeling it when Bob Arum was giving us, to me, on ESPN, listen to me carefully. On ESPN, I think Top Rank was giving us the best fights on ESPN out of the competition. You look at Golden Boy, I can't think of a Golden Boy ESPN card that they put on that were better than the ones that Top Rank put on. You know what I mean? Golden Boy had Gabe Rosado versus Glenn Tapia. You know what I mean? A couple fights like that. Jason Quigley versus Glenn Tapia, things like that. Even PBC. PBC didn't choose to use ESPN when they had the contract with ESPN for maybe their best fights. Like, I think they had Danny Garcia versus Paulie Malignaggi or Keith Thurman versus Luis Collazo. So they had a couple, but by and large, I would say Top Rank has given us the better fights. Vasil Lomachenko versus Guillermo Rigondeaux, even though to me the fight didn't deliver what I thought, but I mean, you can't blame Lomachenko for doing his thing. Rigondeaux didn't really do what he was saying he would do. But Jeff Horn versus Manny Pacquiao, Terence Crawford and Dongo, you know what I mean? Some good fights like that. So I would have liked to see Top Rank stay on that trend of putting these fights on regular ESPN. It's big business. The world gets to see it. But anytime you add pay-per-view, a pay-per-view ticket or tag to the equation, then it's something different, because I can't speak for everyone's finances, but tax season, most people haven't got their taxes back. Not everyone will or can afford a pay-per-view, you know what I mean? Especially if it's not, you know what I mean, like Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, Wilder, you know what I mean? Some people will only shell out for the real Canelo Golovkin too, you know what I mean? Like the real big fights. So to me, I'm not really a fan of this card being on pay-per-view. Now, hear me out. Crawford fighting Jeff Horn, again, I have no problems with the fight. But Crawford, they've already tried his hand at pay-per-view with the Victor Postal fight. I covered the fight live, so I didn't have to pay pay-per-view. I had a media credential and I covered the fight. the numbers weren't good. I think it was like 50,000, but that was back on HBO. I don't know the price points. Maybe that will influence it depending on, because ESPN hasn't done a pay-per-view in a while, so I don't know if the price points are going to be similar to regular price points when Top Rank did the Pacquiao Jesse Vargas Top Rank pay-per-view, or the HBO pay-per-views, or Mayweather McGregor. I don't know what the price points are, but I personally don't think the card is that strong to the point. Again, it's going to be depending on the price points, but where it needs to be pay-per-view, and people are going to be fancying that. You know what I mean? And even with Pacquiao, like, yes, that's good that Pacquiao's on the card, but they're talking about him fighting Mike Alvarado, right? You know what I mean? If he was fighting Broner, okay, for sure, I could see that being on pay-per-view. If Pacquiao, maybe even Lucas Matisse, and I don't even think Lucas Matisse looked particularly good in his last fight versus Karam, but he says he wants Pacquiao. Golden Boy says they're down to make the Pacquiao fight. So, I mean, he at least has a bigger name right now than, I would say, Mike Alvarado. And he got a knockout, you know what I'm saying? Even though Alvarado got a knockout in his last fight. So, to me, not really a fan of this being on pay-per-view, personally. Because I just don't, I don't know, I don't see it. Jeff Horn's never fought in America to my knowledge. Again, real boxing heads are going to know who everyone involved is because we watch this sport. But in terms of casuals, they're not gonna, it's not like somebody they may have seen on PBC, at least, like Terence Crawford versus Danny Garcia. That, okay, something like that. But I guess the logistics make it where to get all these names on the same card, a champion in Jeff Horn, get him to come to the States, Crawford, former undisputed champion in the previous division, and Pacquiao, to get him on the same ticket. Maybe a pay-per-view is needed, but we'll see. That looks like the latest. Let me know what you guys think. Will you be purchasing this pay-per-view? What's a good price point? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.